I would like to thank you for taking the opportunity to view this presentation, the 2023-2024 Wappingers Central School District Budget Explained. The theme of this year's budget is moving forward together. The mission of the Wappingers Central School District is to empower all of our students with the competencies and confidence to challenge themselves, pursue their passions, and to realize their potential while growing as responsible members of their community. I need to recognize and thank the members of the Wappingers Central School District Board of Education, our President John Lumia, Vice President Peggy Kelland, Trustee Marie Johnson, Trustee Michael McFarland, Trustee Cheryl Miggets, Trustee John S. Morgan, Trustee Keith Odoms, Trustee Eddie A. Slowshower, and Trustee James Spencer. Also, the members of the District Office, Senior Staff Administration, our Assistant Superintendent for Administration and Information Systems, Mr. Darren Lolkema, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, Dr. Michelle Cardwell, our Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Business Development, Ms. Kristen Crandall, Assistant Superintendent for Student Support Services and Accessible Education, Mr. Richard Zipp, Director of Human Resources, Ms. Renee Harris, our Director of Facilities and Operations, Mr. Ronald Broas, and our District Clerk and Secretary to the Superintendent, Ms. Alberta Pedro. So the budget process. What is a school district budget? It provides for the educational needs of students while maintaining compliance with New York State. It's the annual spending plan for the district. It's an aggregate view of all of the financial numbers that drive the district's operations for the following year. It's created in alignment with Board of Education and administrative annual goals. And it's more than a collection of numbers. It's a reflection of the mission and core values of the Wappingers Central School District community. The budget process begins when the budget calendar is approved, as it was by the Board of Education in October, and it ends when the annual budget is brought to the voters in May. It's a long, steady process for the administration, the Board of Education, and our community. Official work began on the 23-24 budget process after the approval of the budget calendar, which occurred this year on October the 17th. The building calendar includes date for submission of information from building and district level administrators and departments, presentations to the Board of Education, study work sessions with the Board of Education, presentations to the community and schools, local municipality meetings, the New York State mandated budget hearing and meeting dates, and the input of the entire Wappingers Central School District community. Data gathered includes preliminary equipment requests, new staffing, curriculum proposals. Also included dates for Board of Education candidates, voter information dates, mandated approvals for submission to New York State related to the budget. How do we make this a community process? We understand that the budget document, the financial terms, and the acronyms that are used during this process does not reflect everyday language used by many of us. So a list of frequently used financial and budget terms have been developed to bridge the gap and have a more fluent and productive conversation with the Board of Education and our community. This is updated annually and can be found on our district website, which is wappingerschools.org. The budget process enhanced. Building and department levels submit budgets that have been developed independently and reviewed as such. This process now involves an enrollment-based approach with dollar amounts that are allotted based on grade level. This applies an equal standard budget for each and every student and enrollment-based funding to each school from the general fund budget. Enrollments are updated annually, as is the budget allotment based on the current environment as well as projected economic forecasts. How do we build the 2023-2024 budget? As I mentioned before, we have provided many opportunities for the community to share feedback, ask questions, and gain a further understanding through district-sponsored events, such as the Superintendent's Forums, which are presented twice per year. We ask that you email us with questions, concerns, and feedback, budget@wcsdny.org. We also have our 23-24 budget on our website and look forward to public comment at the Board of Education meetings and the budget public hearings. In the spring of '23, District Administration will also hold community presentations at the high schools and be the guests of local municipalities at their monthly meetings to discuss the budget. The expense components of a school budget, they include benefits, health insurance, Social Security, workers' compensation, transportation, instruction, student programs, general support, facilities, personnel, business, and general insurance. New York State budget versus New York State financial reporting. New York State budget, benefits, transportation, instruction, general support. That's the reporting format for school expenses. The reporting for school budgets includes the administrative component, which is general support and benefits, the capital component, which is general support and benefits, and the program component, which is instruction, transportation, and benefits. As required by the state of New York, reporting for expenses is different than reporting the budget. We show the annual budget in both formats. The revenue components of a school budget: state aid, federal aid, property taxes, and miscellaneous. The 2022-23 Wappingers Central School District budget, revenue by source. So last year, the voters approved a budget of nearly $266 million. Where did that money come from? 68.57% came from the tax levy, 29.11% came from New York State aid, 1.42% came from the fund balance, and 0.90% came from other revenue. What does a budget allow the Wappingers Central School District to provide? Needless to say, the budget allows the Wappingers Central School District to provide the necessary services that our students need to be successful academically, socially, and emotionally, as well as being fiscally responsible to the taxpayers of our school district. How do all of the pieces get compiled to provide for the educational needs of students while maintaining compliance with New York State? Building and district level administrators create budgetary requests for submission. These requests include staffing, supplies, materials, equipment, new curriculum proposals, and in-services requests. The administration uses estimates for costs that have yet to be finalized, which include health insurance, retirement systems, and energy costs. Another example is the district's health insurance rates. These are not finalized until March, and an estimate is used for the period from November through March for discussion purposes. Once finalized, the budget is updated accordingly. The administration uses estimates for revenues that have yet to be finalized. This prime example, New York State aid. Governor's proposed New York State budget is normally released in January. From November through January, obviously, an estimate is used, and it is updated in January as applicable to reflect any change in the estimate being used. Deadline for a New York State budget is April 1st. If the budget is passed into law, the New York State aid amount will be finalized for the district's budget. Again, forums to gather data and opportunities for feedback, an opportunity for the Board of Education and community to ask questions, and an interactive process for the Board of Education, as well as the Wappingers Central School District community. The next event will be a Superintendent's Forum, the Budget Process Part 2, February the 21st. If you're interested in learning more about the budget process, we invite you to learn how we gather information to develop the annual budget, use estimates in the budget, and arrive at the final budget number that is proposed to the voters. So that will all be addressed in the Budget Process Part 2. Upcoming budget presentations based on the budget calendar. Today, the Superintendent's Forum, the Budget Process Part 1. February the 13th, the 23-24 preliminary budget presentation, number 1. 23-24 vehicle replacement plan presentation. February 21st, Superintendent's Forum, Budget Process Part 2. February 27, 23, 2023-24 preliminary budget presentation 2. March 27th of 23, the 23-24 superintendent's recommended budget presentation. April 11th, state aid update and superintendent's recommended budget. April 17th, 23-24 budget adoption by the Board of Education. May the 8th, community forum. State mandated public hearing on the budget, and the budget vote May 16, 2023. We also have historical data in regards to prior budgets that can be viewed on our website. They go back for the last 6 years. Once again, I would like to thank you for taking the time to view this presentation. Take care and be well.